All right, guys, I'm excited about this episode. I'm going to ask you a rhetorical question, and that is, are you the bottleneck in your life and your business? Are you the bottleneck from keeping you from a more expansive life, an enjoyable life, and more expansive business? Take a listen, and I think that you may be quite intrigued at how my journey and my growth over the past 3 years of learning how to delegate more and more and more out in my life. Take a peek behind the curtain. I think you're going to find it interesting. Need some effective tactical advice that actually helps you get results and makes a real difference in your life and business? You've come to the right place. If you're finding yourself here today, it means you're getting ready to gain serious traction in your business, rapidly multiply your income and impact, and you're ready to make it happen while living all out. Guys, I'm Melissa Hinault, your trustworthy corporate dropout turned six-figure business burnout turned happy and healthy CEO of a multi-million-dollar online business. And you're listening to the Burnout to All Out podcast. On this show, we're serving up innovative growth strategies, simple implementation methods to put them into practice, and action-stimulating inspiration tailored specifically for the modern entrepreneur. Let's dive in. You guys, I'm excited to come to you with this Burnout to All Out episode, which is all about expansion in life and business through delegation. So I'm going to ask you a rhetorical question, and that is, are you the bottleneck in your life and in your business? Are you the bottleneck at home? And are you the bottleneck in your business that could be keeping you from a more expansive, joyful present life and more expansive, joyful present business? Okay. This episode is really about a journey that I've been on in delegation, and it was actually spawned by two things. Number one was I was actually asked last week to run a workshop with a women's investing group on how to run your household through hiring a house manager. So we're going to talk about that. But the other thing that spurred this conversation in this podcast was I was running one of my totally free networking event hypno breathwork sessions for about 80 to 100 entrepreneurs a couple weeks ago. And one of them took themselves off mute and they said, Melissa, I don't know how you do it. I sent you a message on LinkedIn and you responded through voice audio. How do you have time to do all the things? You are so omnipresent. I have no idea how you do it all. Guys, here's the facts. I don't do it all. I never do it all. I have learned over the last 4 years of entrepreneurship that the more I delegate, the more I elevate. You guys, write that down, pause, think about it. The more I delegate, the more I elevate. The more I elevate in life, the more I elevate in business. And I was talking about this on an Insta Stories just the other day, that if it doesn't require my brain, my mouth, or my face these days, I'm not doing it. So running a podcast right now, it has to be me, right? But getting my laundry done or getting my priority mail out for a passport or getting my dry cleaning picked up or dropped off doesn't have to require me, right? So now what I want to say as I get started on this episode is that it has been a journey for me. I didn't start in the first day as an entrepreneur and have a house manager and an executive assistant and a team of 20 people working for me. That's not the way it worked. But what I will tell you is from day one as an entrepreneur, while still working full time, yes, I scaled my first business while working full time to multiple six figures. I realized in that moment in life, there was no way I was going to be able to scale a business and keep my sanity as a mom and grow in my business without delegating and hiring out and giving away some of the revenue I was making in order to pave the way for expansion. Okay, so let that settle in, right? I didn't start with an empire of support, but literally from day one, when I decided to start growing a business on the side of working my 9 to 5, I immediately found someone to begin helping me with small things around the house because I knew my hourly rate was worth more than what I could pay someone to do some of those activities in my house. And I will say until the cows come home, I am a work from home mom. I am not a stay at home mom. It is not my job or responsibility to make dinner. It is my job or responsibility to be present at dinner. I own the fact that the food needs to be healthy, but I don't have to cook it, right? I can hire out for that while I am doing income producing activities during the day to drive my business and be present and actually have a larger energy bank for my children to receive them as I switch gears from being business owner to mom. And I know a lot of you know exactly what I'm talking about, especially you moms, when you go from working to flipping the switch and punching into the next couple of hours, which is go mode as mom, unpacking old lunches, repacking new lunches, meal prepping, cooking, cleaning the dishes, making sure everybody's got their homework done, right? I have gotten to a steady state in my life where I actually just flip the switch from business owner to fully present mom because lunches are already packed, dinner is already made, and my job is to be present with my children, have engaging conversations with them, and sit down with them and do their homework with them. Now, they have plenty of responsibility in the house, right? They actually put all of their dishes up. They unload all of the dishwashers. They put all of their clean clothes up, right? So don't think that it's a cakewalk in my house. It is all about my energy as the CEO and the mom in the house, that my kids and my husband and my staff in my business get a much more energetic, engaged version of me when I'm not doing all the things, right? There is a reason the president of the United States does not pick out his outfit every day. Did you guys know that? Someone else does. It's called decision fatigue. How many decisions are you making before you even jump into your business every day, right? How many decisions are you making? I had found myself prior to hiring a house manager, which is the majority of what this podcast is going to be about. I found myself already doing an hour's worth of work prior to plugging into my business for the day. And this isn't just for the moms. This is for the dads too, who work from home. All of you who have the work from home job where everyone else leaves and you're working in the chaos of the house. You're managing the contractors. You're picking up after everybody. You're running the loads of laundry. You're literally like changing over the toilet paper rolls. All these things everyone else in the house thinks magically happens, right? Every action has a reaction. Every decision in one lane takes away energy from making critical decisions somewhere else, right? What I learned is as I began to delegate and allow other people to make those decisions and take those actions, the more quickly and energetically I could hop into what's most important in my day, which is my family, my health, my business, right? I heard someone say not too long ago, I have 2 jobs at home, and that is to have sex with my husband and play with my kids, right? I love those goals, right? I love those goals. So in the beginning, it started with a couple $100 a month of someone side gigging with me, doing some things on social media for me, doing some meal prep for me, doing some laundry occasionally, right? Maybe you upgrade to people doing housework weekly. Maybe they do laundry weekly. But where I'm going with this is grab support where you can get it to free up time for you to do what you really need to be doing that's either income producing or bringing joy to you and your family. And then transition and scale up from there. Let me share with you my journey of going from a struggling, growing entrepreneur, trying to lift a business up off the ground to 6 figures in revenue a year to where I am today as a multiple 7-figure revenue generating business, right? It's been a journey. It didn't happen overnight, but I go back to the very beginning and say that it was the delegation that created expansion in my business because I was more fully present for what my zones of genius are, which are business strategy. They are visionary. They are running a business, and they are being a fully engaged and energetic mom, which means at the end of the day, when I go to be present for them, I am sourced energetically. I am sourced mentally and physically. I am not overly fatigued, exhausted, and frustrated from being spread too thin. Rather, if my kids are having a horrible day, I can roll with it a lot better because I've managed my energy and my decisions throughout the day. It changes the entire vibe in the house when mom is chill because she's not overwhelmed. I will tell you, I find this pretty funny. After I hired my house manager last year, a couple of months in, maybe a month, my husband was like, you just seem like a happier, like a more less stressed out human. I really think the success of your last launch has really made you more comfortable. And I started to laugh and I'm like, babe, that is not it. Our launches last year, like we hit 6 figures with every launch. They were all the same, right? I was like, I hired a wife. That is what I did. I hired a wife to do all the work around the house that most women do as a second job at home that, by the way, is not compensated for, right? I simply delegated the work that I had put pressure on myself to do. And this is no knock on my husband, but he never saw it or knew about it. Like he was out the door and didn't see the chaos of the tornado and the hurricane of leftover, Cheerios on the floor and people's leftover milk and, a pile of laundry here. And those of you who work from home know exactly what I'm talking about. It's really hard to go straight to work in your office when you see all of that. You start tidying it up, taking care of it. And so I laugh at my husband because I'm like, it had nothing to do with my launches. It had to do with protecting my energy and hiring someone to come in and help me out around the house, right? And so that, my friends, allowed me to show up more energetically in my business and be more thoughtful in my process of decision making and coaching and reaction to what was going on in my business, to have more energy to strategically think, but also again at home, being more grounded and having more energy in the evenings to receive my family and be a stable source when kids are having a bad day, even when my husband's having a bad day. That I just love the word sourced. I'm more sourced and grounded and able to roll with it. And by the way, how many of you go and grab a glass of wine? Literally, I know a lot of moms, I've been there. The transition from work to shifting gears to mom requires a glass of wine to get through the hustle of making the food, getting the meal out, dealing with the toddler meltdowns, getting lunches packed for the next day, trying to struggle to get people's homework done while you're cooking dinner, while you're making lunches for tomorrow. It required a glass of wine, right? To just numb out and zone out, right? Not anymore. This girl has maybe a glass of wine, maybe twice a month, and it's in social relaxing settings, not to bear the transition from one job to the house job, right? Okay, enough on that. So how do I reduce decision fatigue? How do I come to my business on my A game was through hiring a house manager who's helped me. And this is where I'm just going to jump into, this was the request. I've gotten a lot of requests around this. It's like, what does your house manager do for you? She has changed my life. But what she does for me is she takes care of me and I take care of the kids, but she also helps me take care of the kids, right? So a day in my life is I get up super early. I already have journaled and done my cardio work or weightlifting in the morning, depending on the day. And all of that is done before the kids wake up. As the kids are up and they're starting to stir, I am done with that segment of my day and I am ready to receive them, spend time with them. Here's the beauty of it though. Their lunches have already been packed from the day before. Okay. So how many of you are running around like a chicken with your head cut off in the mornings or late at night, getting lunches packed, right? Stressful, time consuming when you just want to put your feet up and relax or enjoy conversation with your kids in the morning, right? So when I transition into getting them ready in the mornings, I'm just pulling the pre-made healthy lunches out of the refrigerator while we're chatting about their day, what's coming up that day, their test that's coming up, right? And we're getting the chaos of 3 kids just to like fed, packed up, and out the door without the chaos of also dealing with a lunch being made. I know that sounds silly, but if you're a mom or the dad in charge of lunches, you know what I'm talking about, okay? Now they're taken care of. They are up and out, right? Now it's like phase 2 for me. Guess what I do? I go jump in the shower. The kids put their stuff up for sure. They clean up after themselves for the most part, but I've got a 5-year-old, right? So there's going to be Cheerios occasionally on the floor, a little bit of dropped milk here or there on the table. He's 5, right? I go straight to the shower to start getting ready for my day. My house manager comes in while I'm showering. She's making me a delicious smoothie. I know this is going to sound super bougie for some of you guys. The rest of you are going to be like, how do I sign up for this? She is making me a delicious breakfast and she brings it to me so I can like literally drink this delicious smoothie while I'm getting ready for my day as I'm getting out of the shower. That's probably 5 to 10 minutes saved for me, that I'm not having to make that smoothie and clean up the blender. I know this sounds crazy for some of you, but some of you are like, I'm dialing in. I'm hearing what you got to say, right? She also tidies up the downstairs, including the chaos of everybody eating and running to catch the school bus and like dropping everything, right? Some of you know what I'm talking about. Now, I get out of the shower. I'm drinking my smoothie. I am nourished. My hair is blown dry. My makeup is on. I walk into my office. And this is where I said she takes care of me, right? I walk into my office ready to receive my team in a energetic state. I have not run around like a chicken with my head cut off over the last hour trying to get all these things taken care of in the household while getting ready for work, while getting my breakfast made to quickly get to the desk right when I have to. I am sitting down and she's bringing me my latte. She is literally bringing it to my desk while I'm on the call with my team. You guys, these are little micro shifts in time and energy that compound day over day that allow me to show up in a different light on screen. Again, I will say it didn't start that way. Rome wasn't built in a day. Don't say it must be nice. I would say, come along with me. Like, grow your business and get to a place where you can do this, right? You can start with somebody doing your laundry. Now, let me move forward. During the day, while I'm streaming live and I'm workshopping and I'm coaching, she is meal prepping for the family. So she's prepping healthy meals for the family. She's running all the laundry in the house, and she's also packing healthy meals for the kids, right? All of this is being taken care of so that I'm not working overtime at night doing it myself. I am being present with my kids after their after school activities and sports, which, by the way, again, those of you with kids know what I'm saying. It is chaos when your kids don't get off the bus till 4:30 and you want to have a healthy meal. You want to be unpacked and repacked for school the next day. And you've got to get to your sporting events. You got to get your homework done, right? The rush is real. So everything I can do to make my life easier, she has cleats, shin guards in a line with the balls for each child on certain days. I am not kidding you. And I put this in my Asana board because I am very task oriented. So all of her tasks on a daily basis are on an Asana board. Anybody wants to see my house manager task list, just send me a DM over on LinkedIn, Instagram, whatever. Give me your email address. I'll share it with you. Okay. Now, the other thing she does, because I work from home, how many of you get interrupted because you are the work from homer person and all the contractors are up to you, right? I'm in the middle of a launch, a 9-day launch, and there's a refrigerator being delivered and I've got 7,000 people registered. I can't just stop streaming live to go meet the guy at the front door. So a lot of what she does is the buffer in the house, whether it's any kind of contractors that are coming to work. The other thing she does that's amazing for me, again, air traffic control with 3 little kids, are all the things coming in from the school that need to be addressed. So when the yearbook sign up come, when purchasing of school pictures comes. She purchased the school dance tickets not too long ago. How many of you get stressed out as a mother over the holidays because of all the Christmas parties and the Christmas presents, the wrapping, right? Last year, she ordered all the tickets for the fun little Christmas festivities that we did for the family, but she also was Santa. She did all the wrapping. And this is where I get super, super anal. I know a lot of you guys order all of your stuff through Amazon. And if you've got more than one person living in your house and you try to hide presents before Christmas, very quickly, you can forget where things are, what actually came, what hasn't been received. I run my household like I run my business. I'll say that one more time. I run my household like I run my business. I literally have an Excel spreadsheet with each child's name, and we have an ordered list, a received list, and a wrapped list. So we can see in the production line where we are with each child. And she's doing this during the day. Again, allows me to enjoy the holidays and not stress out about it. What else? again, she cleans the house, but basically the main floor before she leaves for the day. She tidies up, she sweeps, she mops once a week on top of having someone who comes in and cleans my house. Working from home, the less clutter as a visionary, the cleaner my brain is to think creatively. The more clutter in my house creates so many tabs in my brain. And those of you who work from home, who feel the burden or responsibility to keep a tidy home, know what I'm talking about. When you work from home and things are disorganized, there's tabs in your brain open. Oh my gosh, the pantry is a mess. It needs to be organized. Kim does that on a monthly basis. Oh my gosh, all that laundry at the bottom of the stairs, it needs to go upstairs. Kim does that on a weekly basis, right? All these tabs in our brains. I challenge you in your life. How many tabs are open in your brain around your house that could be closed one by someone else? And then energetically, how much energy does it open up for you in life and business when you close those tabs? So again, she builds a grocery list every week. Guys, I eat super clean, organic. We eat a lot of food in this house, and we have, guess what? Another spreadsheet. We have a Costco spreadsheet, a Whole Foods spreadsheet, and an Amazon spreadsheet. Every Thursday, she takes inventory of everything that needs to be reordered and restocked for the family, along with meal plans for nutrition for the next week, and puts those orders onto the list. Guys, are you starting to do the math on the number of minutes, hours, days I'm saving in my life by delegating it to someone else? I hope that this is all starting to accumulate. Maybe at the beginning you were like, what does a house manager do? Now you're like, oh, okay, right? This is a lot of time I used to spend and mental capacity I used to spend that now is spent focused on things that either drive my business or bring me joy with my family, right? Okay. Couple other things. Dry cleaning. I had priority mail that needed to go out yesterday because I'm trying to get my passport expedited. We needed 2 sleeping bags for our camper to go camping this weekend. Again, these are all errands that she could go run in an hour, but my hourly rate based off my business is over $3,000 an hour. So why would I spend an hour doing this? And this is not me trying to brag or sound braggadocious. This is, and I challenge all of you, this is being a practical business owner. What is your hourly rate in your business? And I have a podcast on that if you don't know what your hourly rate is. And if you're spending an hour or two, even a week, running these errands that someone else that you trust, that you could hire for a couple hours a week could run them for you, you're putting time back in your business, energy back into your life, tabs closed out of your brain, and space to be a more strategic thinker, right? She also, for those of you, again, this is an episode a lot for like moms and kids because this is my life. She does inventory on the kids' clothes. How many of you, it is painstaking to go through all the kids' clothes each season and turn them over? The clothes you're going to keep versus the clothes you're going to donate because the kids, they might still fit next year and you don't want to waste, but the clothes that are definitely too small, you got to get rid of them. Guys, it is a conveyor belt in my house. My son grew 4 inches just this year, right? We can't keep all the clothes that don't fit anymore, but someone has to take responsibility. Again, doesn't have to be me. And it doesn't have to be you either. Okay. So this is just a little bit around what my house manager does for me in my house. If you guys find this really fascinating and or found value, and you're also curious and learning a little bit more about what my executive assistant does for me, which by the way, is vastly different than what my personal assistant does. I'd be happy to actually do an episode on that as well. And we can even interview her. And I can tell you that my personal assistant / house manager and executive assistant collaborate a good bit. They work together on certain things that need to be done within the business and personally. So it could be a really good conversation. Again, some of you are listening to this and you're judging me. Some of you maybe are watching this on LinkedIn and you're working full time and you're like, that is ridiculous. I challenge you to think differently. I challenge you to think, what if you could delegate the things in your household that do not bring you joy? What do you think the return on investment could be for you in your mental state, your health, how you're taking care of yourself, your energy, and your productivity in your career or your business, right? And so I would challenge you to actually create some goals around it and just be curious around it. I know 3 or 4 years ago, I would have judged a woman who told me all the support I just rattled off to you. And I haven't even talked to you guys about the little teenager I have helping me with drop off and pick up at sporting events, because I have 3 kids and there's one of me and my husband travels, right? We haven't even talked about that piece either. And so I know that 3 or 4 years ago, I would have judged someone who shared with me all of the support that they had. And I challenge you, if you feel triggered or you're judging the fact that I have all of this delegated, ask yourself why. I know for me, it was conditional. It was conditional because of what I saw my mother do and how she literally did everything. And so when I became a parent and was working full time, I was mirroring what I saw growing up. Well, I'm here to tell you, I love my mom and I'm grateful for everything she's done for me. But she also will tell you, honestly, she hated her 30s. She was exhausted in adrenal crisis. 100% of the reason she had challenges with her mental health and her weight was because of the stress she put on herself. And so I realized in reflection that I was putting way too much pressure on myself to run my household and run a business. And that I needed to really go deep and understand why I was judging myself and why I was judging other women who are willing to delegate. Because here's the bottom line. Just because I delegate out work to run my household is not a reflection of who I am as a mom. I would challenge anyone in an argument that I'm actually a much better parent now that I have the support, because I am not irritated that, by the way, my husband for 12 years, I love him dearly, but for 12 years, we've had an argument around him making the bed when he gets out in the morning because he gets out after me. And I love a made bed and a tidy room. And he never did it for 12 years, right? I would come in and begrudgingly and irritatedly make the bed after he left, after he was gone, even though my morning routine would have been to do it right after I got out of bed, right? This makes me a better spouse because I'm just delegating it to someone else to do, so that now I'm not bitter or hold a grudge or irritated that I'm the only person that puts the toilet paper on the toilet paper roll. So it makes me a better parent and it makes me a better boss to have these things delegated and to be able to be more present with my children when the time is right, to be a more engaged mother with patience when the time is right. I hope you guys enjoy this episode. And come here, Wyatt. You want to come say hi really quick? Come here. We're on a podcast. It's perfect timing. Yeah, bring them on. Bring them on. And this, come here, Bubba, is my youngest, Wyatt. You're going to be on a podcast. Can you talk into this microphone and say hello? Talk into the microphone.
Hello.
Hello. What kind of delicious muffin did you have when you got home from school today?
Chocolate chip.
A chocolate chip. But let me tell you something. It was a healthy muffin that Miss Kimberly made. But who picked you up at the bus stop?
You.
Me. Mommy was at the bus stop, but I didn't make the healthy muffins that he got when he got home. I was a present mom and I have more energy and I'm happier this way. Okay. I hope you guys enjoy this episode. Wyatt, say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks, guys, so much for listening in on today's podcast episode. I can't wait for you to see my upcoming guest in the next episode. You are going to love this keynote speaker. Hey, here's the deal. If you liked this, please subscribe and leave a review. And you want the latest online business growth strategies and exclusive LinkedIn pro tips sent straight to your phone? Text the word updates to 1-833-310-7171. Again, text the word updates to 1-833-310-7171. Can't wait to see you guys. Come find me over on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, wherever you like to hang. I cannot wait to hear how you are enjoying and applying what you're learning. You guys reach out to me over on social because I love hearing what's resonating with you. When you reach out to me and you send me those personal DMs, they really do impact the content I continue to bring forward to you. So again, come find me, Melissa_Hinault over on Instagram, Melissa Hinault over on LinkedIn and Facebook. Can't wait to see you guys over there.